Uruguay set up in a 4-2-3-1, with Matias, Vecino and Rodrigo Bentancur as the two deep central midfielders. Nahitan, Nandez and Giorgian and Arrascoeta operated as the wingers, and either Edinson Cavani or Luis Suarez would drop off the top line into the number 10 position on a rotational basis. Uruguay were cautious in possession to begin with, as their two holding midfielders positioned themselves in front of the first line of Egypt's mid-block. This left Uruguay with often 4 or 5 players and the goalkeeper in front of their opponent's entire team. The knock-on effect of this was that there were fewer players between and beyond the lines of the block available to cause problems, and they were heavily outnumbered. Uruguay tended to threaten more when they played the ball forwards early in transition, before Egypt had a chance to settle into their compact units and deny them space. Unfortunately, with Egypt's cautious nature in possession, these opportunities were few and far between. They therefore had to be patient in their build-up play. When playing horizontally, Uruguay passed the ball too slowly. This was insufficient to remove layers of the Egypt block and create space to penetrate, while the distances between Uruguay's players was too small. These distances were crucial for a number of reasons. Uruguay's players needed to be far away enough from one another that, when moving the ball, the opposition unit had to travel further, thus increasing the likelihood of gaps appearing. But, at the same time, they needed to be close enough to attract an initial press to remove layers from the block, while also being able to initiate an immediate counter-press should they lose possession. They didn't carry out this strategy effectively enough, and there was little improvement as the game went on. It was only through a set-piece opportunity that they were able to get their winning goal. Uruguay were nonetheless very comfortable out of possession. The South Americans operated in a 4-4-2, which was an easy transition from 4-2-3-1. Cavani and Suarez led the attack while Nandez and Arrascoeta dropped in to form a midfield block of 4 with Vecino and Bentancur. With this, Uruguay would try to force Egypt into the wide areas, where the near-side striker and wide midfielder would look to close the space and limit the options while showing the Egypt player towards the touchline. As Egypt were wary of committing too many players forward, Uruguay were rarely threatened. The strong center-back partnership of Diego Godin and José Giménez had little to worry about, as the central areas were always protected when Uruguay set up in their 4-4-2 shape, and the lack of runners forward meant the defensive pair weren't often forced out of position.